Morning, Kyle. Good to see you. I'm not really seeing a lot moving today. Been like that for 3 days now. At the bank still. Hey Les, good to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. Morning Lisa, how was your weekend? Daley Thompson's decathlon, El Puno. Somebody's been playing Super Mario too long. But fair play to you. If we get to 2,500, I can feed the dog some duck. This stream is brought to you by Duck Treats. Oh, she heard the packet rattling. And I'm your host, Donald D. Duck. Hey, Farron. Oh yeah, where was you visiting, Les? Morning, Jay Spec. Afternoon, morning. What's my outlook on the market? Well, actually, the banks haven't been collapsing today. The banks are actually in good form today. They're mostly up. They're looking quite bullish this morning. Most of them. I mean, the biggest mover is First Citizens. Can't even get any leverage on that one either. But and that's $800 a share. So I'm not trading that. Nice, nice. Been a while since I was last over there. 2019 would have been the last time I was. No. 2020. Just as everything was closing down. Just before everything was closing down. 2020 was the last time I was in Miami. Be careful with that one, Puno. Morning, Heath. So let's have a look at Silvergate. So we all know that Silvergate's one of these banks that have collapsed. However, it's still trading because it's not officially entered receivership yet. So there's talk of them going into. They're looking to liquidate the bank. They're looking to go into receivership. They've not officially done that as yet. So Silvergate Capital is still officially trading. However, the reason it's up, one of the reasons it's up, is that there is a rumor for an unnamed crypto exchange to buy them out. Now, if that's the case, they may get a lifeline, and it might be worth you might get, some return on your book. However, it is high risk. So my broker is, for that very reason, my broker is not providing leverage on it. It's hard to borrow. It's not on a short sale because it pumped up on Friday, so you can short it. But the problem with this is if you go long on this one and it then does enter into receivership and liquidates, it's going to get halted, pending news or whatever halt it does. It's going to get halted, and your equity is going to be tied up in that until they decide to what to do with the company. And if it does get halted, you may get lucky. There was talk of a liquidation value, an equity liquidation value of $5. Whether that comes to fruition or not, I mean, it's trading just under $2 at the moment. But if it gets liquidated and you get $5 a share, it might be quite a handsome bonus, if you will. 100% or more, 150%, the way it is at the moment. But you could get next to nothing, because not only is this going into liquidation, and one of the reasons it's been prevented going into liquidation is it's currently under regulatory probe. It's currently under regulatory investigation. This was heavily tied to FTX. When FTX collapsed, so as was Signature Bank, and as a result, I mean, the whole crypto exposure to crypto with Silvergate is partly what's caused its collapse. but it's heavily connected to FTX, and that's the investigation is ongoing. So you know, a lot of that will come out in the watch. Yeah, I'm green on my XRP there, Alpuno. My XRP is in a green. It's the only one. Actually, I'm not too far off because my average cost is just over 29,000 on Bitcoin. So I'm not too far off with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin gets over, Bitcoin gets me into the green, I'm gonna cash out. The XRX. Why is that? Are we looking? Is that? What's that doing? Let me have a quick look for you, JSpec. Bordeaux Bio. So this is below my threshold, but it'd been pumped up this morning, then just sideways since. Went up to 227 first thing. Didn't hold its gain, so that's a bit of a shame. It's getting rejected at the VWAP every time. It's now like 174. Yeah, microfloat isn't to get you can get volatility, but it's no guarantee of an upwards trend. Well, you want to see this above the VWAP, consistently above the VWAP. Deutsche Bank, on the other hand, is upwards trending. You can see all the action above the VWAP. If you look at it on a higher time frame, like the 5 minute, you can see this is upwards trending now. So yeah, that's the problem with Finviz. It doesn't show all the rumors. I've already forgotten the deal, El Puno. What was the deal? Two and a half thousand likes, and she gets. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. You said you associated me saying 2,500 with you getting snapped. Yeah, right. It's not that much. Currently standing, my XRP is about 40,000's worth of XRP, so it's not a huge holding. I've got a bigger holding in Cardano. That's what I've got the biggest stake in, and that's down. I have to get over 50. 55 is my average on Cardano. Yeah, it does. They all need volume. There's a severe lack of volume across the market at the moment. Has been since Wednesday. Thursday was just very, very poor volume. Friday, not much better. The only thing I could really get out of Friday, you know, wasn't much happening at all. Yeah, it's not got a huge range. I mean, we're talking like just over 4 cents. But I'm not saying that this is. I'm not saying that's a stock pick. I'm just calling that out as an example of an upwards trend, because it's above the VWAP and with an incline. Whereas if we look at the S&P 500 right now, this is upwards trending still. Even although the last few minutes it's kind of sideways, moving sideways, but it's still above the VWAP. It's bouncing on the VWAP. We're getting lower highs, and then we're getting kind of a support around the VWAP. So let me know your thoughts. Are you bullish? So the S&P 500 is up 0.64. SPY is up 0.64% at the moment. Are you bullish today? Are we going to have a green day, or will it be red? Had a green day on Friday. Just about. After a couple of successive red days. Just not seeing anything jumping out yet that meets my criteria for a good trade. There's a couple of movers in the kind of penny stock range. I mean, we've got CYCN is moving up. I'll show you that one. Not something I'm going to be trading, but this is Cyclerion Therapeutics. And if you want me to tell you exactly what the catalyst for this moving up now is, so this is up 42%. Mostly in the last couple of minutes. Most of the volume came in over the last minute or so. So CYCN. Cyclerion Therapeutics. Cyclerion Therapeutics receives FDA orphan drug designation for Zagasigwat for the treatment of mitochondrial diseases. So it's got an FDA drug designation. Yeah, absolutely. So FRC up over $16 now. Looking strong. That was a key level, $16 previously. It needs to hold. Has been a key level today, resistance level. Come on round here. Hey, I don't want you sitting. I don't want you there. Good girl. You just don't listen, you're stubborn. Get a chow, they said. It'll be fun, they said. They're very independent, they said. Yes, it did. It's up about 40%, I think, JSpec, but the price of it is just... There's no... I can't get leverage, and the price is just... it's too high. You need a massive account. I mean, I've got a big account, but I'm not paying $800 a share for something. I am, Jack. If it keeps moving up, I'm of the opinion that there's going to be a bit of a big crash in the offing. In the crypto space. I just think as everything comes out in the wash with SBF and the FTC debacle, I think we'll see a lot of things happen. Oh, that was a bit late on the trigger. I'm hoping FRC does move, and I hope it moves a lot today because I'm in it right now. I want to see the $half here. I'm looking for. Pulled the trigger too late. Bad fill. I didn't pull the trigger too late. It's just a bad fill. I don't think that's going to happen, Daryl. I just don't think that. Maybe 50. It's probably get up to $40-50 again in the next month, but I'll be very surprised if it reaches back up to triple digits. like I said, I'm looking for the $half here. Oil rather than crypto, I don't know about that. It's not as volatile. I just think there's going to be a massive rug pulling crypto in the next 2 to 3 months. I don't know why. I've just got a feeling that, I mean, there's just so much ambiguity and nefarious activity, and it just looks to me like the way that the liquidity is moving around at the moment, it just looks dodgy. And I think this pump here is a false start. It's a massive bull trap. So if I can get out, I will. If I can get out profitably, I will. Yeah, my average cost for XRP is 42. Are we going to get this break of the $half here or not? Come on, First Republic. Come on, Bulls. Squeeze it up. Spreads are tight enough most of the time. They went up to 6 cents, but between kind of 2 and 6 cents on average. Spreads. Bit of a bull flag here for me. Can we get that $half that I've been looking for? 16.50. High of day at the moment, 16.80. So I'll be happy with a high of day. I'll be happy with 16.50 at this moment in time, but I'll take the high of day. That's fine, and a bit of resistance at 35. It's funny because I'm not seeing any kind of seller wall at 35. Not unless it's a hidden wall. Oh, I get complaints every time this song comes on because everyone says it's too loud. We'll just get rid of that. Is this breakout happening or are we not? I've got it at the right place. Bad fill on the sell order that is handicapped me at the minute. We'll get the breakout here. It's 40. We tap 50 on the ask. I'm still looking for 50 on the bid. Up to 48, 49 on the bid. Come on, I'll take some off. There we go, we're now green. It's now my job to stay green. Where's the volume? What do you mean, where's the volume? It's, that last candle had like 300,000 shares. $16 million shares took and traded already. Yeah, menus. The last 3 months, it's been doing an average of 25 million shares. So 16 million is still not quite where it's at, but we're pre-market, so we should get over 25 at this rate with FRC. $1. I think it may be, well, I don't know about a grinder. I think if you're talking about the grinder IPO vaults, I don't know about that. If you're talking about a grinder in terms of it being a kind of a choppy but upward slog, yeah, I think that's probably more like it. YouTube? YouTube's part of Google. But if you're asking if I'm streaming on YouTube as well, yes, I am. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. I've not started streaming on LinkedIn, but I was thinking about that, whether I should stream on LinkedIn as well. FRC at the moment, it's the big dog when it comes to where the volume is, where the momentum is. I mean, yeah, you've got First Citizens, First Citizens Bank is the top mover, but it's not on great volume first and foremost, and it's because it's too expensive to be on great volume, to be honest. But First Citizens is moving up on the basis that it's acquired most of the assets of Silicon Valley Bank in terms of deposits and loans, etc. I hope you're right, Daryl. A nice cheaper entry. I'm watching the 2 minute. I'm actually watching the 2 minute time frame. The lovely flag formation on the 2 minute. No, it won't, because SVB doesn't exist anymore. Trade on one. It's now First Citizens. So equity holders are getting liquidated. It's that simple. If you own equity with Silicon Valley, you're getting liquidated. However, if you're a deposit holder or you have a loan with the bank, then your new bank and all the branches and everything else, employees, etc., are now working for First Citizens. So all the loans, all the deposits have now been moved over as a part of the First Citizens Bank. However, if you were a shareholder of Silicon Valley, you don't get replacement shares in First Citizens. That's not how it works. Your shares, your equity position, the bond holders are being burned and the equity holders are being burned. So no, Silicon Valley Bank is not going to the pink sheets. It's just basically it's defunct. That's it now. If you are short on it, you should get paid out this next this week, really. So Dave, if you're on, let me know how your short position's turning out with that. Because if once the equity positions are all liquidated, then you have no obligation to pay for the shares that you borrowed, which means that your short position is 100% gains, in effect. And that's the thing with short positions, is that the most you can earn is 100% of the equity. I mean, if you're leveraged, obviously you can get more than your own particular position, but the equity, which would include the leverage, the sell position, the most you can get is 100% when it falls to zero. Whereas going long, so shorting, the max losses that you can get are infinite. Whereas going long, you can get infinite gains, but 100% is your max loss. Of course, that's a little bit different if you leverage. It's a different conversation. Hey, Black Eagle. You might be right with that prediction, Daryl. Have you got the Euro lottery numbers, by the way? I'm thinking $250. I want to see what I'm looking for here. Before I get back in, I just want to see an increase in volume, because right now the volume's died right off. That's really what I'm looking for. It's a bit of an increase in volume. Average true range 13 cents. So we just got a new high there at 1620, but there's no follow through. It was low volume. Nice one, Clatu. So you were short on you were short on Silicon Valley. That's good. So if you'll get full payout. Nice. It's screwed up my statistics in TraderView though, because it's no longer trading. All of the P&L graphs don't work because that symbol doesn't. Still got all the statistics, but the graphical format, the graphs don't represent. And anything with SVB in it doesn't represent. Or I got the increase in volume, just not enough. I was waiting for that increase in volume. And the break at higher high with an increase in volume, which is what I got, but seems to be trying to fake me out. But we'll see. Just got to get out of that. It's just messing me around. It's not got the velocity of move. So I'll just keep an eye on what else is moving. That doesn't help. So this is First Citizens Bank. This is the biggest mover on the day. It's up 50%. It's now $874 a share, plus change. The range is like $5.70. The spreads are $2.25. $2. Spreads are over $2. So you take 100 shares of that, you're down $200 before you start. But again, if you look at this, there's no volume on it because it's just too expensive. There's no volume on it anyway. We're talking like 3,000, 5,000 share candles maximum. So not something that you would want to share. What you might want to do is you might want to look at some of the derivatives of it. So First Citizens Bank, maybe after the bell. So instead of FCNCA, go FCNCO or FCNCP. So these are down to like $20 a share, but they're still up quite a bit. And will likely move, proportionally of course, will likely move with the main stock. Deutsche Bank continuing to move up. Back to FRC. So, the difference between longing and shorting a stock. Shorting a stock, you don't actually own it. Longing a stock, longing a stock is what everybody knows. You buy something and you hope that the price will increase so you can sell it for a profit later. That's essentially what going long on a stock is. When you're short, you're looking for something to lose value in price. So you borrow shares to sell early, and then you buy them back at a later price, a lower price, to keep the balance. So you can't, if you need a line of credit to go short. So basically what short is you're borrowing shares, selling them at a premium, they depreciate, hoping that they will depreciate in value, so you can buy them back to give back to whoever you borrow them from, usually a broker. You can buy them back at a lower price and you keep the balance. No volume, no trade, Daryl, absolutely. I'm not sure. Trade on one is what's the latency like on Twitch? Check them all out. Share Vision, Twitch. But look, Richard, the latency issue is actually doing you a favor, because it means that you have to make you can't copy trade me, and I don't want you to copy trade me. You can't. What you don't want to be doing, you shouldn't be following anyone blindly. You see me taking a trade, you should. One of the reasons that the latency is good, you've got to like between 5 and 10 seconds depending on which platform you're watching it on. The reason the latency is good is that if I'm getting into a trade, probably I've already made my decision before you see it. But just don't copy anyone blindly. You will lose money doing that, because one, your risk tolerance might be different to mine. Two, you've got a different sized account to mine. Three, your objectives on the trade might be different. Four, I might get it wrong as well. So don't copy me blindly. Moreover, if you want to be able to trade the way I trade, learn how to trade the way I trade. That way you can actually make your own mind up on where the entries are and where the exits are. A nice double top there end pattern. So let's move it to someone else. Let's look at something else. Oh, Jones Therapeutics halted, trade news pending. They'll resume at 9:50 a.m. So after the markets. You're quite welcome to follow me to the pub. It's your round though. I've got deep pockets and short arms. Carnival Cruise Lines, they've got earnings today, don't they? Well, this is Carnival Corporation, and then you've got Carnival UK. Was it CUK? I think it is. Oh. Yeah, Carnival PLC. So you've got two stocks to choose from with Carnival. They're probably pretty much the same. One CCL is a little bit more expensive, but they'll be moving the same. They've got earnings today. I think it's this morning. Well, I can empathise with that one, Alistair. That was me a couple of weeks ago. You can't go wrong with you can't go wrong with the tube, Richard. Can't go wrong with the tube. Is it 9 a.m. is it? Okay, so top of the hour. Oh, just gone. Yeah, so it's CUK, CCL. It's the same company, just different divisions of the same company. But as you can see, there's nobody trading it. The range is very poor. We're talking about a 1 cent range. It's a $9 stock. We've got a 1 cent range, just over 1 cent plus change. So it's almost barcoding. It's a big float, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I mean, earnings dropping at 5 minutes ago, conference call, whatever. It's not really doing much. So watch this space. Yeah, absolutely, Kyle. And unfortunately, I've not got that facility. But I get Twitch comments. I get YouTube. Yeah. Two different streams. So essentially, the Instagram and TikTok streams are the same. The Twitch, ShareVision, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook streams are all the same. So well, that's any greens good green, Alistair. Good man. So I went red and then got green. So yeah, I am the red to green master. Done it again this morning. Black board, very small in terms of, hang on a minute, let me just get rid of some of this crap that's showing up in these scanners, because I don't want anything less than 125k and before the bell on that one. Let's have a look at what the losers are. Remember some big losers. No. Unity Biotech. Let's have a quick look at that on the chart. Yeah, you can't. It's sold off, but you can't really do anything about it. The range is less than 2 cents in the range. It's not. There's nobody trading it either, so. Yeah, UBX probably not something I would be interested in trading at this moment in time. It's the biggest loser today. So it looks like we've got kind of bullish sentiment on the market today. Would I do anything with, I was talking about this earlier. Where was I talking about this earlier? Oh yeah, so Pfizer bought 10% of the company last week, which is on the 21st, I think it was. So Pyxis, let's have a look at it. Probably the best thing to do, isn't it? So I'm not seeing any particular catalyst on Pyxis. On the 21st, we'll go back to the daily here. So this was the 21st here. It went up after hours on the 21st, which was this one, to like 290, and I think that's right. No, that's the 20th. So here it went down to like 220. Then after hours, it went up to like 290, nearly $3. And that's when Pfizer got in, but it sold off since. So it's back down to kind of $2. Today it's up. It's right now up at 260. Not a lot of people trading it though. So it's up 17%, which means that from a volatility point of view, it's worth taking a look at. So I'll take a look at it. There's no volume. Volatility without volume, no trade. So right now there's no trade. the range isn't great either. It's a little over 2 cents on the range. So whilst the move is pretty neat, it pretty much was an overnight move. It's not really done much. From moved up from kind of 220, a 20-cent move, and it's had 20 cents since all morning. So Pixis Oncology, there's no real discernible catalyst that I can see other than insider trading. We'll see. Morning buy the dip. That's just my opinion. I mean, you do you. If you like the look of it, then by all means you trade it. But it's not for me. Morning. Let's have a look at FRC. Where did that go? That's Silvergate. There's no trades there. Well, let's have a look at the market, shall we? So we've traded. So we've only traded the one trade so far. We got into as we had this move up, the pullback. So as we broke new highs, that's where I got in, added to the position, and rode that up to the top. So this is First Republic Bank, and we're just now hovering around what was a key level last week of $16. So we're just hovering around that level. It needs to hold that level. It's going to remain bullish. It's up 29% on the 30% on the day. I think it may be bullish today without any other catalysts coming in and kind of defuncting the action. I think I'm a little bit bullish on this. I think it probably will get up to kind of $20, $22 maybe today. It's not a stock pick. It's not a prediction. It's just the opinion of that guy on the internet. Yeah, banks are volatile, but to the upside today. They're looking bullish today. So Schwab's looking nice to the upside. Western Alliance, PacWest, they're all still looking quite good. To be fair, there's only been 2 days that the banks haven't been in play since the 10th. So Silicon Valley Bank went, well, actually even before that, the 9th was when we saw a lot of action to the downside with the banks. But it was on the 10th when Silicon Valley Q actually went into liquidation. So since then, the banks have been in play pretty much every day. The volume, relative volume has been higher. Give it over like a 100-day period, 3-month period or whatever. The volume's been much higher than it normally would be. So it's good relative volume on the banks. However, that being said, I mean, if you look at, this is FRC, for example. Let's just look at this. So this is where the volume was before the 10th. And then the volume came in on the 10th. And look how much the difference in volume over the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a bit, versus what it normally would trade at. You can't really see any volume on First Republic, and all the banks are the same. This volume spike here. Now the actual pattern here is a little bit different. So if you look at something like Charles Schwab or let's have a look at this one. You can see that very similar situation. Low volume, bank collapse, banking crisis, and the volume spikes up, and then this has been kind of descending volume still. But even on Friday or Thursday last week was it's still relatively higher volume than what it historically would have been doing. But Thursday, Friday last week were just non-events across the board. But the volume is still big, relatively speaking. Why is Silvergate Capital moving even though it's bankrupt? I know something. I'll tell you what's going on with Silvergate. So there's a rumor with Silvergate that there's as of yet, anonymous crypto exchange looking to buy them. It's only a rumor, and that's why it's moving up. Now, Silvergate have not released any statement on the matter. Silvergate are still planning to enter into liquidation, and as a result, for me, It's too risky. Excuse me. It's too risky a trade to make. If you can't really, it's too difficult to short because it's hard to borrow. It's not on the short sale restrictions list, but it is hard to borrow. I don't think it's going to be easy to short, but the risk there is if the rumors are true and you go short on it, you're going to get stopped out before you even realize it. However, even if the rumors are true, they could still enter liquidation. Whoever wants to buy them could wait for them to liquidate and buy them at auction, or buy them as a, rather than buying them as a going concern, buy the assets, and then the equity holders could be left holding the bag. So if you're long on it, yes, there might be liquidation agreements in place where you might get $3, $4, $5 on the share, if that's the case, and you might be quids in. But they've also got litigation or potentially criminal investigations going on at the bank at the moment, regulatory probes. So even if they did get bought up, the regulatory probes will be ongoing, and you may not see it. That capital will get frozen pending that investigation, and you might not even see anything. But it could be frozen, and you've got your equity tied up into Silvergate for could be months. You know. So I personally, that's just, again, this is my opinion. You do you. It could be an opportunity, but my opinion is I'm staying away from it. One, I'm not getting any leverage. Why? Because my broker sees them as too risky an asset to put leverage on. Two, they've already announced they're planning on going into liquidation. If they go into liquidation and you're long, you'll lose everything. And if you go into liquidation and you're short, you could be waiting. Your equity could be tied up for God knows how long. I don't know who this as of yet unannounced crypto exchange that could be buying them, whether it's legitimate or not, and if it is, I don't know who they are. And probably FTX. CCL moving now, is it? It had a pump, so this is obviously the conference call started. The earnings have dropped. Oh yeah, earnings have just dropped as of 1:15. So it's an EPS beat. It's a sales beat. Well, that's unusual. That's not very nice. It popped up and then lost all its gains. It did a 40-cent move to the upside on good earnings and then lost it all. So let's see, will it come back? Still losing money though. That's the problem with them. Oh, cheers, Kyle. I see you already posted that. It's got range. $0.30 on this candle. Yeah, and this is what I don't really like to trade morning earnings, because you don't get the kind of volatility and the consistent push that you get in after hours. So with after hours, it's not uncommon to get like 5-10% move both ways in terms of the range between what they'll have a liquidity grab and then they'll move in the direction that the market wants it to move. That tends to be a typical pattern for after hours earnings. Now this could be the same sort of thing. It's moved up with the earnings, then pulled back for liquidity, but a liquidity grab, stopping people out, and then moving up. We'll see. Hey Super, not doing too bad, buddy. How's yourself? How was your weekend? I don't know about it being short. I mean, those earnings, it's an EPS beat, it's a revenue sales beat, so you'd think that it might rally after the bell, but we'll see. Yeah, the pre-market earnings are never as good as well. I find that what you get with pre-market earnings is you get a little bit of volatility, and then it will sustain and move in one direction after the bell, usually throughout the course of the day. So CCL and CUK right now are probably doing the same thing. Yeah, you're doing the same thing. So CCL and CUK, both Carnival. This is the Carnival Cruise Lines is what it is. So both of these, they're above the VWAP right now. At the bell, which is in 10 minutes, we might see a sharp move, or we might see a slow and steady move to the upside or downside, whichever the market decides to take it. Are we ready? How are we doing today, guys? Have we traded yet? Have you traded? Have you taken any trades? Have they worked out for you yet? Let me know in the comments. Who's green so far? Have we got a bunch of Hulks in the comments, or a bunch of red Hulks in the comments? A bunch of Thunderbolts. Are we Bruce Banner, or are we General Thunderbolt Ross? Nice one, Klaatu. So you got a nice bit of profit on those today. Speaking of which, FRC, triple bottom. I missed the breakout. I was going to go for $0.25. What's the level here? 40. Ah, a bunch of banners then. Bruce Banners. Rather be a Bruce Banner than a Thunderbolt Ross. That's all I'm saying. If you get the references, you can be my friend. Well, we know you're a Hulk, Alistair. That's just because you've got a bad temper, though. High of day 1680, which I'm a little bit wary of right now. And we get a new high of day coming into the open. That's great stuff, Flip Jug. It's great stuff. You're I hope you're telling me that because you held it over the weekend, Flip Jug. So we're now at the high of day. Needs to, and there's a new high of day before it starts to pull back. So 1670, I'm out. Low of this is 1672. So first candle breaks a new low. There we go. Oh, you sold. Well, look, you got a 5% gain on it. That's Friday. That's Friday. Today's a new day. So don't worry about what happened on Friday. Friday was just it was a difficult day to trade. I mean, I took an early bath on Friday. It was just one of those days. You will be later if they give you that gas, that laughing gas there, Alistair. You'll be very happy later. I hope you're not driving to the dentist. So Pixie's moving up. Don't ask me why. Let me just put that on the scanner so we can actually see. Wow, that's a big candle. That's a big candle. That's a 25-cent move. Don't chase it. Wait for the entry. Well, that's fine. That's fine. You know, every day's a new day. There's a new trade today. We've got 3 minutes to the bell. Yeah, so this is something you've got to get into your head. If you're not a swing trader by default, if you're inherently a day trader, an intraday trader, and you decide to swing a trade, and this is another reason why I don't do it. If I'm going to swing a trade, it's because I've got into a swing trade, and that's the whole thing for it. If you take a day trade and you then change your trade plan and decide to hold it and swing it overnight, or particularly over the weekend, it plays on your head, and you get anxious about it. It's a mentality shift. A lot of people find it difficult moving from one to the other because as a day trader, you're invested in the trade as it's happening. As a swing trader, you set your you enter, you set your stops, so you set your range, and then you walk away. But as a day trader, it becomes difficult to do that. You're constantly checking on your position. You keep going back. Am I in profit? Am I stopped out? Instead of just coming back at the day later and saying, okay, well, where did we finish? Range on this has gone mental. I jumped in for the break of $3 and didn't pull the trigger quick enough, so my entry's at 313. Nice one, Kyle. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic return. That's better than you get from any hedge fund, I'll tell you that much. 50% return in a month. You can map that out. Compounding effect, if you can do that every month. Wow. You'll be a very wealthy man at the end of the year. Well, tell your friends. There's the bell. Just made $1,000 on that one. Would have made a little bit more if I'd pressed the right hotkey. Wow, Western Alliance. Check that out. What's the spreads on it? Oh, 12 cents, 20 cents, 10 cents. Oh, I got stopped out. That was a bit stupid of me putting the stop too close, but I just felt it was going to reverse at 30 after rejecting 36. It's only $100, so that's okay. I'm done $2,500 up at the moment. $2.5K is better than a kick in the gonads, that's for sure. I'll change the scanners over while I'm not in a trade. That'll be how's about that, guys? I should change the scanners over, shouldn't I? The regular session, considering we're no longer pre-market. I was right to get out though. Let's see what else is. Did GBX move bounce to the upside, or was it continue selling off? Oof, that's a big move up. So UBX heavily down on the day. So this was a $4 stock. Opened at just over $2. So that's why that's moving up. It's halted. We'll resume in 2 minutes. I'm just going to take a quick bio break. You guys watch the S&P 500. Up and drop. That's what Pixie's done. That's what Western Alliance has done. Pop and drop. Initial pop up and then the drop afterwards. So probably did well to get away with just losing only $100 on that one. Pixis is back under $3. Right, let's watch. So 2.5K up. Get green, stay green, get to goal and get out. That's what I always say. Pre-market level at 35.50. Let's look for maybe a VWAP bounce here. Slightly over the VWAP. Novartis making moves up. A much higher price, higher cap stock, but making consistent moves up. The scanners are regular hours. Ed, I've changed them over. You see there, applied filters over this session of the regular session. Regular session. Let me just have a quick look what you're seeing. Yeah, regular session. I don't know what you're talking about, Ed. You've obviously not looked at the scanners. That's just say regular session. Yeah, it's still under the VWAP. It's under $3. It needs to get over the VWAP. All of these need to get over the VWAP now. Tesla's moving up. If you like your Teslas, breaking highs up there at just under 197. Is about to test 197. Tesla. We've got Chewy breaking highs here. Right, okay, yeah, so it incorporates the pre-market data as well, but it's total data. So basically what we're looking at is the comparison to where it is based on volume traded and yesterday or the previous day's closing price, because obviously previous day is Friday. So the previous day's closing price. So that's what it's looking at. Now, what you tend to find is you get a lot more volume in the regular session than you will in the pre-market session. So it's better to have scanners. You switch the scanners over. You basically, if you've got it the pre-market session, they'll just stop showing data or changing data when the bell rings. So you have to change it over to keep getting the updates. And what I'll do now is I'll update the volume requirements, because obviously the volume increases on the filters. The volume increases as we enter the regular session. I don't want to be distracted shiny object syndrome at anything that's making a move up. Like Chewy, for example. Everything's just moving sideways at the moment. Like I said, the banks are selling, so Schwab is vomiting at the moment. $0.25 range on Schwab. 2-cent spreads, so that's okay. It's shortable, no short sale restrictions. So this is why I like Schwab, because it doesn't have the volatility of a First Republic or a Pac West, but it moves in the same direction, and you can take advantage of both, and you can go long and short on it, which is good. I'm not seeing it as a... Let's put the losers on here. UBX, big loser. Okay, we're just waiting for something to rear its ugly head now. Ooh, DCTH on very low volume. Let's have a look at the movement. We might get the beginning of the move if it's a nice movement. DCTH, if it is a nice move, no, it's not. I was going to say, if it's a nice move, we'll take a look at the catalyst before we get in, but yeah. Just a lot of chop. Nice. Yeah. Not enough volume. Nice technology. There's not enough people trading it. At $6. Fixes trying to make a move back up. Might get a bit of a bounce on the VWAP here. What's the VWAP at? The VWAP's at 302. A high there of 312. So we made the move up, pull back to the VWAP as support. So now we look for a VWAP bounce, a break of new highs. This first candle makes a new high. That VWAP bounce. But is it worth it? That's the question. It's at 312. Not a lot of range. So we're looking at 10-cent target. Needs to hold the whole dollar. It's not holding the VWAP, so it needs to hold the whole dollar. Maybe get a bounce on the whole dollar. And what you've got to understand is these support and resistance, or supply and demand zones, as the newfangled way of calling them, and they are zones, not to the pen. They're not lines on the chart. So you can map them out with lines on the chart, but you're probably better off mapping out a small parallel line as opposed to a single line on the chart. They are areas. And you've got to recognize that fact that if you put it as a line, you're going to get times when they cross it and then move back up. So and then reverse. Yeah, with TWS, I don't like the scanners on TWS, which is why I prefer Benzinga. Benzinga for me is head and shoulders for value and usability, and everything that you get with it. I think TWS they work with, I don't know if it's Finviz or Trade Ideas. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I can check Marathon Digital. This is moving sideways. It got rejected up there, so we'll look at what else is moving. There's nothing else moving at the moment. So Marathon Digital, where are you in? What's the kind of bags that you're holding? Because it's just gone red on the day. 780. So Marathon Digital didn't have a great day on Friday. It just gone red today. So 780. Didn't have a great day on Wednesday either. I kind of expected a little bit of a pullback or a bit of choppiness on the crypto mining stocks, because Bitcoin over the weekend dropped. It was above 28, dropped below it again. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what I thought, Dennis. That's what I thought. But of course, that's another subscription that you've got to pay, and it's no cheaper than Benzinga. So I'll better the devil you know. Great Ideas is as a platform, as a package, it's actually quite good. It's just more expensive. Farmer, why are you moving? Are you moving with any particular reason? Okay, Camma Pharmaceuticals. All right, Camma Pharmaceutical reports safety update from cohort 1 of Chase phase 2B clinical trial evaluating KPI 012 in patients with PCED. So we're looking at phase 2 clinical trial results. I'm glad I took my time. So this is one thing is that when you see something moving, it's always worthwhile just waiting for an entry rather than chasing momentum. Look for why it's moving. Look at some of the fundamentals. What kind of a company they are. What's the relative volume, etc., etc. So if you look at this one, it's only got 425,000 shares traded today. It normally, over the last couple of months, would trade over 2 million shares daily. So it's relative low volume. It's got a 10% short float. The float is a relatively small float. It's kind of a micro float of about 1.9 million in the float. But the fact that I took the time to do some research before jumping in and trying to trade it saved me getting caught in this flush. Yeah, well, I can't remember which one it was. Last year that was it the year before Hindenburg came out with a dodgy report and crashed a stock, and then found out that it wasn't accurate. So I always take it with a pinch of salt as well. But it's not on the scanners there, so I won't be trading it. If it's not got momentum, I'll take a look at it to see what's going on with it. But if it's not got momentum, I'm not trading it. All right, so this is 3% up on the day. So it's not quite hitting the scanners from my point of view. So block. This was a $75 stock early last week. Kind of dropped a third of its value. SPY is, again, it's not, it is trying to get new highs. I want to see the SPY back over 400, and hopefully that'll signal some bullish intent. So let's go back to Cala. So Cala, the VWAP on the 1 minute is 1717. So it's underneath the VWAP at the moment. Yeah, UBX, we just looked at UBX a couple of seconds ago, but I'll take another look. So UBX, an initial move up into a halt, resumed level, then down. It's got volatility, but there's big swings, so just be careful with this. So what's the spreads? Spreads are not too bad. They're like 5 cents, between 2 and 6 cents. So the spreads are not too bad. The range is 14, so you're getting a good 2x on between the spreads and the range. But that's okay. You're not going to be able to short it. It's on the short sale restriction. Well, you could short it, but it's on short sale restrictions, so it becomes difficult. Do I ever buy under the VWAP? Yes, when it's for reversals. If I'm going long, I want to see it trending to the upside. Bless. So if something like UBX, for example, if I see it really extended to the downside, and then I get some good reversal indicators, and you're looking for the reversal indicators, the same as when you're going long on something and you start seeing the reversal indicators like the double tops or the devil horns or anything like that. You can see the same things, the inverse of that when you see something that's selling off and you see the reversal indicators. At that point, you might want to buy and go long for a move up. And then obviously you want to see that it breaks the VWAP. So that's when you will buy underneath the VWAP when it's heavily extended to the downside, and you see the reversal indicators as an indicator to go in long. That's when you will buy in underneath the VWAP. Yeah, it's not looking great. UBX, it looks I don't trust it at all, because it's made two big moves up and followed by two big moves down. So if you mistime it, if you time it right, you could make a nice bit of profit. So a good entry here would have been a kind of 245 for the move up to 270. But if you mistime it and you get in at like 265, you're going to come a cropper on this one. If it just keeps pulling back to you watch the action. If this keeps moving up and pulling back to the VWAP and bouncing on the VWAP, that might be an indicator to say, okay, well, take a position as it bounces on the VWAP. Then you've got the VWAP as a tight stop. You've got minimal risk for a move back up. Buying the dips. That's another strategy that you might want to consider if it starts to exhibit that as a trend. Do I know much about monthly options expiry and how it affects the market? So it depends. So when you've got the options expiry, if there's a lot of options that are going to be expired, that are going to be in the money, then the broker may have to cover, or whoever's selling the options may have to cover. So sorry about that, Wolf. But that can cause what's known as a gamma squeeze in those circumstances. Now, the gamma squeeze can be up or down depending on whether it's puts or calls that are going to be in the money. So they can affect the market. But buying options, they only really come into play towards the double, quadruple, and triple witching days, which are usually significant days at the end of a month or the end of a quarter, when the contracts are due to expire. So buying options, buying calls and puts doesn't impact the price action on the market, unfortunately, because the options are a derivative as well. You're not actually buying the underlying stock. You're buying a contract that allows you to buy the underlying stock. There's a whole bunch of. It's worth reading up on the Greeks. There's four different. If you're trading options, there's four different categories of Greeks that you. And I say Greeks, they term them under a Greek terminology, a Greek symbol. So there's four different Greeks that impact the overall price. So they're becoming a little bit more complex. I use the VWAP on any intraday chart, so 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, depends on the pattern that's playing out and what chart I'm actually trading. If I'm trading the 1 minute chart, then I'll use the VWAP on the 1 minute chart. If I'm watching the 2 minute, I'll use the VWAP on that. So that's what I look at. Right. Silvergate. As I've already said, I'm not trading this for obvious reasons. Well, they're not obvious reasons, but if you want to know, I'll tell you the reasons. But I'm not. I just think this is too risky of a play in my book. I don't know what's going on with them, and quite frankly, I don't know if they will be trading tomorrow or next week or whatever. So Silvergate is a bit of a dangerous play for me. Tomorrow's another day, boss. Red days are inevitable. You're always going to have them. It's just how you bounce back from them that matters. So Silvergate's over $2 again now. It's a nice little flag formation there. So here's your flagpole. And then nice little pullback. Move back up here. Good. 8 cents on that one so far. I don't know what the trading cafe is there, Super Chip, but I'm a mentor in the Day Trade with Tony Discord. I know that much. If all you're using is daily time frames there, Tibby, then you're better off being a swing trader. Oh, let's have a look at Reed. Yeah, but there's nobody trading it. 20,000 shares traded. There's nobody trading it. But Alpine Acquisition, it's another SPAC. This is up for what reason? Currently up 54% on the day, $16. I don't know why it's. I know why it's not hitting my scanners. It's not hitting my scanners because of the lack of volume. So it's not even done 25,000 shares today. So you can gamble with it and get lucky, but as I did with Zula last, was it Zuna? Whatever. And Luna and HKD and Fladi and those kind of things. So that's the problem with these SPACs, is that they move on very low volume, very dangerous because the volatility is huge, the spreads are huge. Sometimes it's just not worth trading them. When this resumes, you'll see the spreads will be about $2. The ATR will probably be about $3 or whatever. So, Zura, that was it. Well, thank you for getting insight, reading my brain there, Clarty. But I'll come back to we'll come back to this in a moment. So when did this pause? 56.40. So it'll be 0140. Yeah, Silvergate's moving up, but like I say, I don't particularly like it. FRC is just continuing to sell, as is Western Alliance. But Schwab is on its way back. Schwab's back above the VWAP. Go figure. Not all the banks are going in the same direction. I was actually thinking of just streaming longer on the old YouTube, if there's enough demand for it. But we'll see. know what? We'll keep at it. Well, we've only been, the market's only been open half an hour. We're just still waiting for something to present itself. We're up 2.5k. The key thing with day trading intraday, I mean, it's glamorized all over social media, and trust me, it's not a glamorous profession. People that are showing off with the condos in Dubai and driving the Lamborghinis and Ferraris, they probably haven't made a cent trading. They're trying to sell you a lifestyle, and most traders real traders that I know are very understated. Yeah, if once you get to know them, there's usually something that you can see that say, hang on a minute, you know, they've got a bit of something about them. But most traders I know are very understated. They're not living in big flash mansions or driving around in Lamborghinis, and you know, because they're money conscious. They know what to do with the money. So first and foremost, don't be fooled by the scammers. People in my comment section that are saying, "Oh, Christina Brinkley's going to make you $1 million. Go and follow her." And like, no, she's not. Shut up. Or come join my what do we call it? WhatsApp group or anything like that. And people that are trying to be me, imposters trying to, with my face on their profile, with just a misspelling. It's like an underscore instead of a dash, or it's a dash instead of a dot, or they put an L instead of an I, or whatever it is. Yeah, spell it in capitals instead of small letters. I've got a couple of rules. I do like nice watches. Money never sleeps. That's probably my weakness. I like a nice watch. I've got a nice shoe collection, and I've got a nice watch collection. But I would never. What's the point in buying a Lamborghini? First and foremost, I live in a country where trying to drive a Lamborghini is just impossible because of all the potholes. You'd ruin it in 5 minutes. Secondly, if I wanted to drive a Lamborghini, I'd just go and drive a Lamborghini. I'd hire it for the day. But they're not a practical motor. So they're not the side. If I bought a Lamborghini, if I bought a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or anything like that, and I wanted to, first and foremost, where am I going to put my weekly shop? You know, the storage space in one of those yachts is non-existent. So I'm not going to get my weekly shop in it. And if I did go down the supermarket just to get a few bits and bobs, I'll come out and it'll be keyed. Because that's just the nature of the way people are. So unless I'm living in Dubai or living in a wealthy neighborhood, these kind of people are so jealous, they'll just destroy it. So you can't go and go to the supermarket and buy your bits and pieces without coming out, and it's there's you know, bits and pieces broken on it, or somebody's keyed the side of it from some jealous schmuck who thinks that you're a poser. So that's another thing. Secondly, as soon as it lands on the lot, before you've even collected the keys, because you've ordered it, you've lost money. So unless you're buying it resale, in which case you're still losing money, there's no point. If you're buying any kind of vehicle, you lease it. You don't buy it, you lease it and put it through the business and write it off against tax. Well, Dennis, I mean, Lambo crossovers, what's the point? You know, the whole point of driving a Lambo is like that's like saying I'm going to get an automatic Lamborghini with an automatic gearbox. Are you nuts? That's the whole point of driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or one of these high, you know, racing motors is the driving experience. And if you're not going to do that, if you want to spend that kind of money, but you want a more of a comfortable cruiser type, get yourself an Aston Martin or you know, something a bit more luxurious rather than flashy. Yeah, that's the problem. Gets you through the potholes. Or where was I? Where was I? I think it might have been. No, it wasn't Dubai. It was Miami. It was Miami. Somebody coming out of a garage in Miami, an underground garage in Miami, and it was a Lamborghini, and the move up, he got kind of wedged on an island because the curvature of the ramp coming out of the garage was more than the curvature going in, and he got wedged on it coming out, and they had to bring the AAA or whatever it was to get him out without damaging the car. Well, there you go, and this is what you need to be doing. You know exactly. There you go, Super Chip. It's freedom, not money. It's if you're going to get into trading for money, and you don't enjoy the process, you're probably in it for the wrong reasons. And if that's the case, then just take your money and give it to somebody that knows what they're doing, rather than risking it yourself. You'll get a good solid return, you know, as much as 10-15% or more annually. You're not going to get much more than that annually if you're getting someone to pay, because that's how they make the money. They'll make more, but they'll give you that return of kind of 10-15% annually. So just give it to somebody else to manage, and you've got less stress. That's what I would say about that. But again, going back to what I was before I went off on one of my tangents and jumped on my soapbox about this, what I was saying is the name of the game in day trading is not about how much you can make. It's protecting the equity that you have. But when I say get green, stay green, that is the most important thing. Once you've taken a trade and you're green, you need to protect that position. Yes, you might want to take a bit of risk on your next trade because you've got that cushion, but what you don't want to be doing is going into the red and giving that profit back into the market. Again, this is a case of do as I say, not as I do, because you've seen me on countless occasions giving profit back to the market, but that's a calculated risk that I take. And unfortunately, when you trade as aggressive as I do, the swings can be a little bit more volatile on your P&L curve. So Lexus is a kind of nice car. Yeah, well, I don't know why I'm watching this one, because I'm not going to be trading it. Let's go back to Reeve. It resumed, and I was on my soapbox. So now we're getting a bit of volume. So why is this moving? That's a good question. Alpine acquisition. Does it have any catalyst? Probably not. Excuse me. Oof. My ears just popped when I sneezed. Oh, that just crept up on me, that did. Okay. Alpine acquisition, what's the deal here? There isn't one. There's no news at all. Last news was a Form 8 last Tuesday. Oh dear. Let's have a look at this. Let's look and see if they've got some kind of shelf registration or something. Okay, so May last year, I've got news from then, but nothing. I don't know why it's moving. Is the bottom answer there? It's halted to the downside whilst I was talking. There you go. No, it's gone without me. Why am I not getting filled here? There we go, got filled that time. Yeah, Neith. We'll see. Spread's 10 cents, maybe that. Yeah, I don't mind that. Don't mind this pullback right now either. As long as it's above the VWAP. Holiday music. Yeah, I could do with some holiday. Well, I was only way over Christmas, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, FRC's not, yeah, so you're just reiterating what you're saying. High of this one is 68. Yeah, they're not exactly following the same trends across the four stocks. Well, those are the ones those are the four banking stocks that I've been watching, but they're not exactly following the same trends. Schwab's actually looking very strong. I really need to go to the bathroom again. Yeah, I got on with the candle that had the volume. The rest have just been very low volume, so I entered with the voluminous candle there, which is why I'm holding at the moment, because I want to see a bit of increased volume, whether it be up or down, to give me the indication of which way this is going to go. Silvergate's moving up. 245. It could reach 3. I'm just not risking it with it. Not so much the gains on the moves, it's the fact that if I take a position and it then halts moves pending while it goes into liquidation, you know, I'm not too keen on that idea. But potential VWAP bounce here. Could have bought at the VWAP in hindsight. Move back up and retest the highs. Excuse me. Won't have the equity to be doubling down here though, that's the problem. Probably get another 2,500 shares ish. To 3,000. Bob's pulling back. FRC, conversely, is actually trying to move back up towards 15. Here's the chicken legs. I wonder if anyone else is thirsty. Dry mouth. Cotton mouth. What they call it, isn't it? Cotton mouth disease. Yeah, the higher time frames, this is looking bearish. I mean, you've got on the 1 minute, you've got double bottom there, but on the higher time frames, it's looking like pulling back. Let's see what direction this is coming. Yeah, Silvergate's up there at 240s. At 240 level. Just be careful with Silvergate though, Puno. Yeah, this is not looking good right now. Excessive lower highs. Getting up. Basically, this is a descending wedge into a flat bottom. Flat bottom there at 35.20. These descending wedges typically break downwards, except when they don't, they break upwards. Not seen on the 2 minute descending. 2 minute is very clean descending wedge. There you go, it's broke down. So now get me filled. Don't be ridiculous. Wouldn't fill me. That's what's known as a red to green move in reverse, i.e. green to red. So give me a second, I need a bio break. That's better. Part of me's almost getting a bit of FOMO for Silvergate, but do you know what? I'm staying away from it. You've got to draw a line in the sand somewhere, and I drew my line there and it bounced exactly pretty much where I drew my line. That's what they call Murphy's Law. So that was very much, if you look at this on a 5-minute, that's what the definition of a pump and dump looks like. Low volume, pump it up, a high volume comes in chasing, and they dump it down. So that's a pump and dump for sure. That's horrible. I hope nobody decided to try to chase that. Khaled, pretty much the same thing, pump and dump. What's scaring me off? Well, the defunct. That's what's scaring me off. The bankrupt. This is a stock that is under one. It's under criminal investigation. You've got regulatory anomalies, so they're under investigation for potential criminal acts. 2, they've already declared they're going into liquidation. They just haven't done it yet. 3, there's an anonymous benefactor, rumor of an anonymous benefactor. Woo, well, that's convenient. Circling around certain social media circles, which is why it's pumping. It seems to me like there's people with bags, big bags on this, wanting to get rid of them, and it's going to flush at some stage. And then you've got the other issue. If I'm wrong with that, and they do go into liquidation, because that's what they've said they're going to do. If they go into liquidation and you're in a long position, you're going to lose some, if not all, of your money. If they go into liquidation, you're in a short position, your equity is going to be tied up until the results of the legislative investigation, and you never know when you're going to get your money back, or even the profits. But you might get some profit on it, even if you go long on it. There's too many things, too many red flags on this particular stock, Silvergate Capital. It's just too risky for me to trade, apparently. That's what's scaring me off on it. But there's not a lot else moving at the moment. Thinking that I got out, held it too long and got out too early. Yeah, maybe not. I'll wait for it to break back above the VWAP. Roku. Let's have a look at Roku. That's a steady climber. If you're a reversal trader and you're looking for a bounce on these stocks that are heavily down, my advice to you, and I don't offer financial advice, this is just methodical advice. My advice is, do your research. Why are they selling off so bad? Is there a likelihood that I could lose my money in its entirety? What is the likelihood of that? How risky is this stock for me to actually get into a position? Could it be halted? Is there any regulatory investigations going on? Are they a functioning, working business? And the answer to that with Signature Capital is no, they're not a functioning, working, profitable business. Yes, there are regulatory investigations with it, possible legal ramifications with it. B, a lot of the rumors, unsubstantiated rumors, which can be quite profitable to trade, but unsubstantiated rumors, you've got to ask, with a pinch of salt, you've got to ask, okay, well, why are these rumors being circulated? Who's the big fish that wants to get rid of their, that's putting this out there because they're holding bags, they want to pump it up so they can get rid of it for a small loss or break even. It's very difficult to judge the bottom. It's much easier to judge the top of a stock than it is to judge the bottom. You start to see the signs of exhaustion at the top, and then it tends to reverse. A lot of people will come in and short it at that point. When you're trying to judge the bottom, very often people come in and short it again. Or it ends up getting delisted, or it gets downgraded, it ends up on the pink sheets, or whatever the situation may be. Just too many red flags. Jack, wouldn't it be safe for a day trade? Well, what I'm saying to you is, would it be safe for a day trade? What if it halts pending news? What if it gets halted right now because they've decided and they issue the press release that, right, we're now going into liquidation. We've informed the FDIC that we are going into liquidation. They're coming in, that we've closed the doors, they're coming in, and they're going to be taking over from here. And then they'll break up the assets. If it gets halted pending news, that news pending could be like SVB. They might not resume. So for a day trade, if you're going to put your equity into it, I would say you don't put a lot of your equity into it. Novartis and Roku are moving up nice. Roku, I like the movement here. Oh, Deutsche Bank hemorrhaging out at 970s. Oh, the SPY selling off as well. So let's look at the market. So SPY breaking lows now down here. 397. Schwab. I like Schwab because it's easy to borrow. Spreads 2 cents. The last I've got in here was the break of the VWAP. Not a lot else moving right now. VOB, that's 70-cent stock. Have a look at GMVD. I'll come back to Schwab later. G Medical, no, I can't trade that crap. I mean, look at that. That's just not even a chart. That's just some splodges on a black background. It looks like a Jackson Pollock. It's not a chart. Horrible. Okay, so Right, okay, so Silvergate Capital shares are trading higher after Macro Strategy reported it voluntarily prepaid its Silvergate bank loan. MicroStrategy prepaid approximately $161 million. That just dropped the last couple of minutes. Which basically would suggest you say buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, that's the news you want to be selling. And I think Silvergate, go back to Silvergate. On the back of that news, it probably will sell. Watch. There you go. And that's 20 cents. That's almost 10% in that one flush. Yeah, and it's whilst it's not on the short sell restriction, so you can short it. It's just not easy to borrow. So if you look, I'm looking at the momentum chart, and all the momentum is downwards at the moment. If you look at the SPY, so this is why the momentum's downwards. The whole market's selling off at the moment. Or just sit on your hands for a little bit, unless you get a nice. If you get a nice short position with an easy to borrow stock, then fine, but otherwise just sit on your hands for a little bit. Patience costs you nothing. I've been a bit more patient with Western Alliance. I wouldn't have given back $3 grand. There we go. Let's get a bit decent music on. Let's switch the tunes up. There we go. So everything on the momentum scanner is currently south side. And the ones that are moving back up, I mean, I look at penny stocks right now, which is the top of the movers right now, penny stocks. So these are stocks trying to do a red to green type bounce move. They're heavily down and trying to move back up, but they're not even on good volume. VORB has decent volume, but it's way below what I would like to try. And this is again, it's red on the day below the VWAP, just got rejected at the VWAP, so there's just no trades there. Not right now. And we can carry on for a little while yet. See what the market brings. A lot of spikes down on the signals. That's a spike up, but no volume. What happened to the bank? First Citizens. Yeah, it's not doing anything. No volume on that. First Citizens Bank. This is the one that's acquired most of Silicon Valley Bank's assets. So that's the day's range so far, 55.25 to 54.10. So it's not huge on Schwab. Well, let's have a quick look, shall we? Yeah, I don't trust this at all. Silvergate just seems to be being manipulated from my look. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but like I said, too many red flags. I mean, it has moved like 60 cents, 70 cents, something like that. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a bounce on Schwab and Western Alliance. Key level of 35 there. Could be interesting. We've got a 34.34 to 36.30. That's a $2 day range at the moment. The ATR on the reason I'm looking at Western Alliance right now, the ATR on Western Alliance is much bigger than it is on Schwab. Of the two, I think I'd be more. Those are the two that I'd be bullish on if I'm going to be bullish. Schwab's actually making nice moves up in line with the overall market. What do you guys want to see? Is there anything that you want to take a look at? So Simpress is having a good day on very low volume. Yeah. Have a look at the meme stocks. AMC down 2% on the day. GameStop down 1%, well 4.5% on the day. The thing is though, it's held most of its gains from last week after it had posted good earnings, so it's been kind of sideways. Look at this on the 60 minute or whatever it is. You can see it had good earnings here after hours, bit of a bounce and then double top there. Then it's held most of those gains. It's more sideways than anything. This is GameStop, so it had its earnings midway through last week, Tuesday I think it was, and just sideways since then. Boeing. Oh, I don't want to look at that on the 60 minute. But Boeing's looking reasonably strong. Is there a reason for that? It's 2% up, in line with the market. Actually, it's better. It's overperforming against the market, isn't it? It's above the VWAP. I wouldn't say there's an A+ setup to trade it, but Boeing's up. It's currently at $200, just above $200, or just below 201 actually. But it's 283. So for a $200 stock, 24 cent range, spreads of 6 cents. Make of that what you will, guys. Let's go back to Wally. Where's Waldo? Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris is the reason that Wally went into hiding. Come on, hit me with your best Chuck Norris jokes. Superman wears Chuck Norris pajamas. Before he goes to sleep at night, the bogeyman checks under his bed for Chuck Norris. You don't want to break the economy, Flip Jug. If Chuck Norris told FRC to jump, there'd be a bunch of banks in the air. Yeah, you can look as well, Snorri. How many likes have we got on TikTok there? Surely we've got enough for a treat for the doggy. Giving her one anyway. We've been quiet enough and well behaved enough. Come on. Gonna stand up for it though. Good girl. Well, let's do that again. I'll finish that one first. Don't be greedy. That's what you get for being greedy. You've not chewed that one. Don't swallow it until you chew it. Chew your food. Good girl. Oh, maybe you should take over my classes, Alistair. You're having a bit more success than I am lately. Actually, that's not strictly true. I've actually, what is my green streak now? It's must be 13 days or something. Let me just have a quick look at what my green streak actually is. Let's look at the calendar here. There was a no trade day on Thursday, so I'm not going to count the no trade day. 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days. I need a green day today. Oh, we're not too far off. Green day today will equal my longest ever green streak of 14 consecutive trading days. So we're going to finish green today. Like I say, it's only 1,200 bucks. 25% move of 5,000 shares. I'll do that. Just need to find the stock to move. Right now, there isn't any. Very sideways, do nothing. Oh, right, okay. Well, she deserved. She's been waiting for you guys to actually get the like count up, and you've been letting her down. I couldn't care either way. But you know, if you're watching on YouTube, just smash that thumbs up button. It really helps out with the algorithm. If you're watching on TikTok, just tap the screen a dozen times. If you don't know what a dozen is, God bless you, but it's 12. Tap the screen 12 times. Oh, here we go. We're getting a little bit of movement here. We break the VWAP. No volume though, that's the problem. This is a big move, but no volume. I'm just a little bit cautious. of a rejection at the VWAP because of the lack of volume. Maybe FRC will come good because that's getting more volume. Well, I don't know about rallying. Maybe bouncing. But yeah, the banks are trying to make a move to the upside. Just not sustaining right now. Rejected at the VWAP. Schwab rejected at the VWAP. FRC rejected at the $0.50. Let's see, did we get... We've got to move up now. X is just sideways. These, I mean, even if I take a position here, it's not a great entry. I'm kind of clutching at straws here to take a trade. So I'd rather not take a trade. There's just no movement at the moment. Boston, Omaha, had a move up. No volume. Ooh, that's a lovely pattern. Lovely chart. You're never going to trade that. Spreads now 12 cents. Range 21. What about FRC? What's the range on FRC? 17. So not much difference in the range. The spreads are narrower, so FRC is probably less risky, more opportunity. Over 1450 maybe. I don't know. I'm not feeling it right. No, the big double bottom on WAL and Schwab for that matter. Let's go back to let's just zoom out, put this on the 2 minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. Massive double bottom here. So, just not getting the volume for the breakout. Yeah, well, not seeing the double bottom on FRC, but I am seeing it on Schwab. Pretty much the same pattern on Schwab, and I'm just going to take a small position here. This breakout over 1340. It'll either work or it won't. Now we're scaling. Actually, Schwab might be a better option. I've got leverage with Schwab. So the range isn't as big. CCL doing it again, is it? are we doing here? Just taking a position out of boredom, I think. I think Schwab's a better option, actually. See if we can't get the view up bounce. $35, 39 and change, 35.40. FRC didn't breaking new laws. It's reversing. I'll leave it there. I was going to put it at 35.20. I'm going to leave it at 35.18. It's fine. Is it 35.18? Is that the fluffy guy in Monsters Inc? 35.18. I think it might be. Someone let me know in the comments. What's the containment breach code in Monsters Inc? Is it 35.18? Somebody let me know. Somebody who's more geeky than I am, or somebody that has young children. Same thing. $23.19. You think, Jack? You think? You're coming in with what you think? Come on, at least do a Google for me. Do you know? I don't want to know what you think. I want to know what you know. Can someone find out for me? I'm messing with you, buddy. It's definitely $23.19. Okay, Alistair, I'll take your word for it. I'll Google it myself later just to confirm. But $23.19, okay. Google is everybody's friend, except TikTok. And no, I didn't short method. For those of you that saw my video, I was who's going to short method? I dare say a fair few people have, but I didn't. But I was laughing at Congress, though. Did anybody else watch the supposed grilling of the TikTok CEO? It was laughable, absolutely comical. That's what you get when you get a bunch of people who have absolutely zero idea how technology works, quizzing a technology. Because they did the same with Zuckerberg as well. They had the opportunity to quiz Zuckerberg and they completely fluffed it up. And then, of course, Zuckerberg primed them and given them questions which, if they'd been asked and followed up in the right way, wouldn't have been bad questions. But the way that they've been put about, they're just clearly not understanding what they're actually asking, so they look like idiots. Well, that's my take on the old congressional hearing around TikTok. If they ban TikTok on the back of that hearing, it's going to be scandalous, because clearly they hadn't a clue what it was clear there was an agenda, a financed agenda from Mr. Zuckerberg, no doubt. No, what he said was, can TikTok access my home Wi-Fi network? And you saw the CEO, was this Shu Cho? He's like, what? Well, yeah. If the Wi-Fi is on, the phone's turned on, well, of course it can. No, but can it access other devices on my home Wi-Fi network? Well, why would it want to? It just needs access to the internet, which is why the mind boggles. If you plug your phone into charge and TikTok's running in the background, can it access the national grid? Oh my goodness. They're living in a world where they think sci-fi is real. They watch things on TV and they think it's real. That's what it is. Oh, this ain't going in my favour. Just bouncing around the VWAP. Oh. 21. What else is moving? Oh, Zura. Making moves. Very low volume. I wouldn't touch it. Not today. When it had decent, well, I say relatively decent volume last week, it was a calculated risk and it worked out for me, but 140,000 shares traded? Nah. Let's have a quick look. I've got my stop in place here. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. That's fine. $140,000 shares traded. So nah, you can't trade that. I just the day that it moved up from kind of $8 up to $38 was the day it was you wanted to trade it. What was that day? Was it Wednesday? Wednesday. That was the day for trading Zura. Let's have a look. Have a look for you. So, CRISPR Therapeutics. It's underneath the VWAP, ranging sideways. Not great volume. It's up on the day, it's up 3% on the day, but there's just no volume to it. So, yeah, what are you going to do? We're sat here waiting for something to present itself with an opportunity, present us with an opportunity, or present itself with an opportunity for us, whichever. Well, she's had a treat, so she's off into Snoreland now. What's the spreads on Zura? So this is interesting. A whole dollar spread. Yeah. Yeah, so you've got an average true range on a 1 minute of $1. Well, 99 plus change, and then you've got a whole dollar spread. So your range isn't covering your isn't covering your spreads. And that's always a red flag. If your range doesn't cover your spreads, don't trade it. Not from an intraday trade perspective, it is. There's two things that you need for intraday, for day trading there, Maria. And whether it's a good solid company, if you want to invest in it, that's what you're looking for. If you want to do your fundamental analysis and you're looking for long-term investments that are going to go to the moon or whatever it is, that are going to come good in the long term, it's a safe place to store your money that's going to outperform the overall market, certainly outperform inflation, and that's what you're looking for from good solid companies. That's not what I'm getting from this. So from a long-term investment point of view, this is downwards trending, and I would basically say that it's coming down towards it's having a good day today, but it's coming down towards the lows of 40. So I would be inclined to say I need to see this certainly over 55 if I was going to be investing in this longer term. I need to do more about Do they have an economic moat? Are they profitable? What kind of return am I getting from a dividend perspective, if anything? And of course, that's all fundamental analysis that you do for long-term investing. If you want to go for a long on the day, for a day trade perspective, there's no trades here. You need two things. You need volatility and you need volume. There's no volatility. There's neither with this. So you need volatility and volume. The volume, there's like less than 600,000 shares traded all day. So even if there was volatility, the volume isn't underpinned by it, or it isn't underpinned by volume. So it's you know, difficult. Now, if you're going to go for a long intraday as well, you really want to be looking at stocks that are trending upwards, i.e. above the VWAP. VWAP here is pretty much horizontal, which, as you can see, means that it's trending sideways. It's just chopping sideways. It's not following a trend either way. It's chopping sideways. But if anything, it's slightly downwards trending. So it's actually below the VWAP, which means slightly downwards trending. So probably not the best idea to go for a long right now. Sorry to burst your bubble there, Maria, but that's why I wouldn't go for a long. Hey, what you're going to do? You're going to put your money in and hope that it moves up. There's no volatility with it. Where's the momentum? It's been sat there at 44.79 for the last however long. The range, whilst it's got an 8-cent range on it, the spreads are 7 cents. So the range doesn't really cover the spreads. Spreads are 8 cents. So like I say, range of ATR of 8 cents, spread of 8 cents. There's no trade there. So volume and volatility are the two essential ingredients to successful day trading. Don't take boredom trades like I did with Western Alliance, because that's how it goes for you. Wait for the right setup. Be patient. And just because you like a company, look, I loved Aeroclean last summer, but I wasn't trading it after July. Why? Because just because it's a good company doesn't mean it's going to give you good returns on an intraday basis. What you want is a good catalyst, a reason why it's moving, and a good strong move with a good trend, and take advantage of the volatility that comes from that catalyst. Fundamentals are great if you're investing. Fundamentals are important if you're swing trading, i.e. holding it for longer than 24 hours. So if you're holding it over the weekend, a week, two, a couple of months maybe. So a swing trade, the fundamentals are relevant. Fundamentals don't matter when it comes to day trading. You don't care. Most of the companies I trade on an intraday basis are garbage companies. I would never put my money in them long term. But for whatever reason, they're having one good day, that maybe if it's a bioscience company that's got an FDA approval and it's having a good day, or it's got insider buying, for example, Pyxis traded today, got acquired 10% acquired by Pfizer last week. So if there's an underlying reason for it, and you got good momentum, it's got better than average relative volume, so at least 2 times what it normally does in terms of the number of shares being traded, shows that there's people interested in trading it, and you can take advantage of the move. So that's what I'd say. Volume and volatility are interesting. It becomes more technical analysis than fundamental analysis for intraday trading. It's more about technicals than fundamentals. Of course, fundamentals will trump technicals 100% of the time. If a catalyst comes out, what I mean by that is if a catalyst comes out, it doesn't matter what the pattern looks like. It doesn't matter if it's trending upwards or downwards or whatever it is. If a catalyst comes out and it's a good catalyst, it's going to rally. If it's a bad catalyst, it's going to sell. That's just the way it is. So you need to be wary of that. Do I trade Forex? No, I don't trade Forex. This is equities only, this channel. Yeah, well, where did I enter? Let's go back to where it is on. So up here, I sort of put it into context for you, Neith. I got in on this candle here. Okay, this green candle. As you can see, increasing volume. So the volume there was okay, as far as I was concerned. It was increasing volume. It was on the up. I was looking for a test of the $36, the whole dollar. So that's where I got in. it did come back, and then as it started to make its way back up again, that's when I added to the position. Then it pulled back and ended up getting out. I just held it too long. That was it. So I committed a cardinal sin here, is that you have your trade plan and you should be disciplined enough to stick to it. What I should have been disciplined enough to stick to it is get out here at 35.50. So I didn't get out at 35.50, which would have saved me a lot of money. I just kept adjusting it because I thought, okay, well, there's with previous levels here, we've got the VWAP, we've got, you know, etc., etc., and ended up getting out, and it's just chopping sideways. Now on this one's where I got in here for a move up to break the we got the move up on the VWAP, and then a new high. So I was looking for a VWAP bounce here. Now, granted, the volume there wasn't great. We had 13,000 shares. I think 2,500 of that 13 is mine. So it wasn't great. I probably could have waited for a bit better volume. But even if I got in on this candle here, it didn't sustain. So yeah, this entry I'm okay with that entry. I'm okay with even with the ad, but I should have got out here as it broke new lows. Definitely shouldn't have held on to it too long. Holding on to your losers too long is another reason why you lose money. Here, yeah, you're probably right. The volume wasn't there, but I was looking for a VWAP bounce. So that's you're not wrong, but that's my logic behind taking those two trades. I can't trade that. There's no volume on that either. So that's what we're missing right now. So if I go back to Pixis, we traded up at the open for a nice little profit. Since it's sold off, it's just slowly making moves up. But again, this is looking bearish to me because this is an upwards channel that typically breaks downwards. You get parallel here. It's trading in that range, so it's a parallel channel. Typically, upwards parallel channels break downwards, and downwards parallel channels break upwards. It's like an extended bull flag or bear flag. This is an extended bear flag, so typically this will break downwards. No, I don't trade CFDs. Too much mills. My broker doesn't delve in CFDs, and that's another red flag. If you're choosing a broker and they're trading, now there's two things, okay? The good side to CFDs, if you're trading CFDs, most of Europe, it's illegal. You can't trade CFDs. It's a contract for difference. That's what it stands for. And what it is effectively spread betting. So what you're betting on is the price movement. So it's considered gambling in most regions. So if you're trading CFDs in Ireland or you're trading CFDs in the UK, it's considered gambling, and as such, it's tax-free. If you make any profits on it, it's tax-free. That's the advantage of trading CFDs. The disadvantage is that you're not buying the underlying asset. The broker stroke bookie, which is essentially what they are, controls the spreads. So, and controls your fills. So the odds are weighted in their favor. Simple. So CFDs are a lot more risky than trading the equities themselves. But the advantage is if you're in the UK or Ireland, it's tax-free if you make any money on it. So you weigh it up. No, it's not a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, there are plenty of stupid questions, let's face it, but that's not one of them. do I just invest? No, I don't just invest. I'm day trading equities. Now, if you're trading CFDs, good luck to you, but you're never actually owning the asset. So I would never invest in a CFD because you don't own the product. You won't get paid out on any. No problem. No problem. 212, eToro, Revolut, even a lot of those are CFDs. eToro, they'll do CFDs, but they'll also do the underlying stock. They'll have a small amount of underlying stock as well, so they can get away with pretending to be a broker. And without actually owning any stock of whatever you, and they will pretty much let you short anything and long anything, and you know. No, there's no wash sale rule here in Ireland. But even so, the way that I'm, because it's as a day trader, it's works the way the wash sale route works in North America is you can't offset your losses against tax and stuff for tax. If what you're doing is day trading, the likelihood is that you want to just be a mark-to-market trader anyway. So what that means is that at the end of each day, the profits are offset against your losses, and the balance is your net profit across that day. And that's the way I work anyway. So. So Pixis, go away from that. What else is moving? Nothing. Schwab's still looking a lot stronger than perhaps getting credit for. So I thought there might be a lot more volatility in the banks today, but there's not. It's a very sideways, choppy market. The overall market itself is actually downwards trending. So if you look at the SPY, it's downwards, well underneath the VWAP. It's actually underneath it's kind of bouncing off the 20 EMA. But if you look at it since it opened, we're very close to the red-green line from Friday. So Friday's closing price is here, the dotted line here. And we're very close to that coming down. So the market is selling off. It's not a great day to be a long bias trader. There's not a lot. Even Signature, which I just think there's too many red flags to trade it intraday. Even Signature Bank is just chopping sideways now. And that's the second biggest mover on the day. So we've got three movers to the upside above 15%. So that tells you what kind of a day it is. With any kind of decent volume, that is. If I just filter out the volume, you'll see a few more in there with lower volume. You see how that flooded with other stocks with lower volume. So we've got Simpress, low volume, Gorilla, next to no volume, CBL, low volume, Loop, low volume, Review, Alpine Acquisition Review. Again, there's virtually nobody trading that. So there's a lot of just noise here. FGF, just 4,000 people trading it, and it's moved 19%. So a lot of just crap. And a lot of these stocks, a lot of these companies are just crap, if I'm being honest with you. So probably not worth even considering taking a position with them. So no worries. Thanks a lot. Too much Mills. Well, do you know what? I've stayed a bit longer than I normally would, so I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'm gonna lock it up, take the bathroom break, take the dog for a walk, and come back in about an hour. So I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. What do I think of alts? Let me take a look at the chart. So Altimmune, up 13%. Very choppy. Up, down, up, down. Had its initial move kind of 9:30 till 10. Very choppy since. What is the decent? Well, it's average volume. Relative volume is like 1. So it's average volume across the course. Let me just have a look. Is there a catalyst for you? So Altimmune, some insider buying. So Richard Eisenstadt, who's the CFO, he's just bought 10,000 shares. That's it. Some insider buying. If I look at some of the fundamentals, let's have a quick look. It's a 43 million float. I'm not even sure why it's even reporting his 10,000 shares. That's like not even significant. So 10,000 shares on a 43 million float. Come on. It is 17% short, so the potential for a short squeeze is a little greater than average. Just no, for me, there's just not enough volume. 1.7 million across the day, which is kind of average. The relative volume's not up there. The range is less than 2 cents on the range, so the volatility is not there. It's moving up. It's above the VWAP. It's upwards trending. Fine, that's good. But from an intraday trading point of view, from a day trade point of view, you need both volume and volatility. It's got neither. So the volume, the average true range on the 1 minute chart is only like less than 2 cents. On the 5 minute chart, it's a little over 6 cents. And there's just nobody trading it. The volume, this volume candle, as well, it's only just opened. So the last volume candle, shall we say, was 6,000 shares, 18,000 shares. So that volume candle, 3,000, 4,000. You know, we're not getting many people trading it. So whilst it's having a good day, there's just not enough momentum to trade it intraday. Yes, so Pixis is the only news I could find on Pixis and their move up is that Pfizer took a 10% stake in the company last week. So I'm thinking maybe that's why. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to take a bio break and then take the dog for a walk. I'll come back later. If you're in the Day Trade with Tony Discord, I'll see you there. I'm adamant. I'm $2,000 down, so I need to find something to get that back today. I'm not going to be taking swings for no reason, but I'll find something at some stage during today that'll move. I'll be able to get my 2K back. I'm not going to give up this 13-day green streak without a fight. So I might end up $7,000 down. Have a nasty red day, but look, we'll see what happens. If you're in the Day Trade with Tony Discord, you'll see me there in the trade room a little bit later. So take it easy, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, an hour before the market opens again.